Right, what we're going to talk about now is subject-verb agreement, which sounds really complex and really isn't. It's a thing that a lot of you student guys don't do very well. I think it's probably because your accent, your Hull and Northern accent, tends to get this wrong all the time. So if you spend your life listening to people speak in this way, this is how you speak and this is how you write. The difficulty comes is at exam doom day, there's a transfer of what you speak to what you write. So it's really important that we get a grip of it, because otherwise if you start to lose just 1 or 2 points during the exam process, and say for instance you're right on the cusp of pass or fail, getting this wrong might be the thing that puts you over the line. And what we want is we want success for students. What you want and what you need is success. So we've got to think about this, and in all of your writing subsequently to this lesson, you need to think about it. Every time that you do it incorrectly, you reinforce the incorrect way of doing it. So each time you do it correctly, you learn and you enforce the positive way to do it. And that's really important. So whilst it'll take a little bit of thinking about initially, because like I say, it's the way that your brains work, the way that you speak, you've got to think about it and you've got to start to put it into your writing. And that way you can get those points. All right, here we go. Fairly simple stuff really. And it all revolves around singular and plural word usage. So, for instance, in this case, it's pretty simple. The dog chases the cat. So it's a singular dog, singular cat, and it is in present tense. So, dead simple. But it becomes more difficult if you've got 2 dogs. It becomes a plural present tense. And in this case, the dogs chase the cat. So the dogs becomes a plural, and you just lose the S off of the chase. Okay, no problemo. This is the one that you guys from the Hull area particularly really struggle to get to grips with. Let it get it in the camera shot. All right, the man was angry. So it's a singular man, but past tense, and that's correct. The men were angry. So if it's a plural, as in men is the plural of man, then you use were. The men were angry. Often around here, people will say the men was angry, and you're going to lose points on your exam if you speak like that and you write like that. So try really hard to think about how you're writing and change that. Just to recap, the men, sorry, the man was angry. The men were angry. Plural goes with a were. Singular goes with a was. Cool. All right. It's never just as simple as that, of course. So, here we go. Plurals and singular again. Bath's flankers are very powerful. So, Bath Rugby Club has some flankers. For those of you who aren't rugby people, that's a position in rugby. There are 2 in each team. So, Bath's flankers are very powerful. Because flankers is a plural, there's more than one. Flanker, flankers. So because it's a plural, we hit the R. Right. If it was singular, this is where it gets a little bit more complex. Bath's pack is very powerful. Now Bath, it's still that same club that we're talking about. Now a pack is a thing that is made up of 8 players. because we're referring to the pack as a singular, it is a thing, the pack, that is a singular. So we're not talking about a number, or we are talking about a number of players, but we're talking about them in one thing, a pack. Like, it's a collective noun, if you like, similar to a flock of seagulls, a murder of crows, a herd of elephants. All of those things, whilst they are a collective noun, they're treated as a singular. A bunch of flowers, a box of frogs. So Barth's pack is very powerful. Because it's a singular, it goes with the is. All right? Quite a difficult one, that, and we're always going back to what we're referring to. So we always go back. That is what we're referring to, so we go back to it. You know that it's a singular, and that's what we go back to. A bunch of flowers makes the room smell nice. Or that bunch of flowers is very nice. We go back because the bunch is the collective noun for that group of flowers, but there's only one bunch. So when we talk about that, it goes back. The bunch is very nice. All right. So what I'd like you to do now is have a look at the exercise that's on the table in front of us and give it a crack. If I'm not stood with you whilst you're watching this, I will soon come across and help you with it. It's all good. If you need to ask me anything, please do. Thank you.